nothing at all. And instead, now we were accused of making this story up and coaching children and torturing them into this disclosure in order to prevent the context between them and the children.
Are you able to answer on a polygraph test? I mean, it takes a lot of courage to do a polygraph test. A lot of courage, because a lot of people are going to want to know the truth. And when they see you in a real credentialed polygraph test, you know that your life can change, because if it doesn't show up that you're telling the truth, Ella Gareeva, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very angry at you. You think you'll pass the test?
Let's see, let's take it.
Mr. Sanchez, could you tell us a little bit about the polygraph?
Well, to be able to run proper polygraph tests, you basically need a basic good education in it, and to go through a accredited polygraph, American Polygraph Association school. And the one I went to was the Marston Polygraph Academy, which is based in San Bernardino, California. And this was back in 2008.
That's wonderful. So you are a member of the association?
Yeah, actually I'm a member of the American Polygraph Association, and actually also an instructor, primary instructor. I do teach at the Marston Polygraph Academy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But also at another one, which is called Tudor Academy, which is in Colombia. Which is also a school accredited by the American Polygraph Association. So I run tests, but I also teach.
Have you ever met Ella Gareeva before today?
I do not know Ella. Never heard about her.
Okay.
Until today.
Okay, good. Just to clarify with folks, and basically, how does the polygraph work? Give us a little bit of an understanding for folks that don't know.
Okay. Well, a polygraph is basically a medical instrument. What the polygraph does, it's an instrument capable of registering physiological activity. So what the polygraph is going to do during a polygraph test is basically register the physiological reactions of the person, of the examined person, to certain questions. And those physiological reactions are like the quiet answer of a person, or the internal answer. Not verbal, but what let's say, what her or his body is answering to certain stimuli. The stimuli are going to be the questions. So basically, that's what the polygraph does. The polygraph is capable of giving us, let's say, a clinical image of somebody's emotions to certain questions.
Fascinating. What tools do you use today?
Well, a polygraph, basically, a normal polygraph has different components. First of all, you have a data acquisition system, which is this little box. As you can see, there are little things connected to it, and we're going to measure different things. We're going to measure the breathing pattern through these two tubes. We're going to measure the skin conductance, or sweat, through these two plates are going to go on the fingers. And we're also going to measure the cardiovascular activity through this cuff that's going to go on the arm, so we can measure the different, let's say, physiological reactions, changes in somebody when presented to certain questions.
Mr. Sanchez, does a polygraph, does it have capability to be used in civil court, criminal court, none, or both, or?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, can you use any kind of evidence in a court? I mean, basically, that's the question you're asking. So it depends on the judge. It depends on the let's say, on the fundamentation of the test. I think if it's backed up by the process and how you present the case, why not? I mean, why should a judge not allow a person to defend herself or himself?
So, is it easier to get a polygraph in a criminal case or a civil case to use?
Well, it's easier a civil case because, of course, the burden of proof is lighter. because I mean, you might be playing with economic well-being of a person, but on a criminal case, you're playing with his liberty. So, of course, the proof of burden is tougher in a criminal case, but that might also be a good, actually an advantage for the polygraph, because if your liberty is at stake, why not present a polygraph test?
Please tell us, Mr. Sanchez, what type of elements you're using here for the test.
Okay, the different accessories are going to register physiological activity. We're going to register different things. We're going to register the breathing pattern through these two little pneumographs. One is going to go on the lower chest, and the other one is going to go on the upper body, and that will monitor the breathing pattern of the examinee. We are also going to monitor or register galvanic skin response, or let's say the sweat, through these little metal plates are going to go on the fingers, and they're going to measure and the galvanic skin response or the sweat of the examinee. And this cuff is going to go on the examinee's arm and is going to monitor the cardio of the person. Let's say the blood pressure, blood rate, blood volume. And this little cushion is going to basically monitor the movements of the person. We just need to make sure that the person is not moving during the polygraph, so that there can be any, let's say, reaction that is not due to a natural, response. So we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's why we have this movement cushion. And this is basically the brain. This is the polygraph. This is the data acquisition system. Okay, as you can see, all those accessories that I showed you are connected to the polygraph. And the polygraph will gather that information and transmit it through this USB to the computer. And this computer is then going to register all the information so that it can be analyzed.
And what exactly is that called on its own?
This one? This is actually the polygraph. This is the data acquisition system. It acquires all the information from all those accessories. Okay.
Incredible. So I'm sure back in the old days it was much bigger than it is now.
It was much bigger. I mean, not so long ago we still had the analog instruments. So basically, I mean, this instrument works exactly the same way. The only difference is that it's digital. So it's easier right now to, let's say, analyze the information, because we can go back and increase or decrease certain reactions so that we can have a better look at it. In the past, let's say all those reactions were on paper, so you couldn't go back and change them. So that's like, say, one of the big advantages of having digital polygraphs.
Are you ready for the client?
I'm ready.
Here we are waiting for Miss Gareeva to show up. However, there seems to be a delay. Mr. Sanchez, I apologize. Miss Gareeva is supposed to be here now, but she's somehow delayed, and we're a little bit concerned if she's going to come or make it, actually. So we'll see. Thank you for your patience, sir.
Okay, it's okay.
She should be here. I hear her now. She's arrived. Please.
Okay. Miss Gareeva, how are you doing? I'm Mago Sanchez. Please take a seat. How are you doing today, Miss Gareeva?
Good, thank you.
Yeah?
And you?
I'm okay. How are you feeling?
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Is it nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit, I understand. Miss Gareeva, how much do you know about polygraph? Or what do you know about polygraph?
Well, I know probably just a general knowledge that it's some kind of device that monitor your bodily activity, and depending on your emotional response to the question, it's reads your physical sort of.
Basically, that's what the polygraph does. Okay. So that's what the polygraph does. But the polygraph really is a medical instrument, so that is capable of registering physiological activity. Okay, but the physiological activity the polygraph measures is very specific, and that's important that you understand what the polygraph does. So let me give you an example. We have two nervous systems, central, peripheral. In the peripheral nervous system, there's a nervous system called the autonomous nervous system. The autonomous nervous system, as autonomic nervous system, as the word says, it works autonomously, independently. You cannot control it. Let me give you an example. You have a driver's license.
Yes,
Have you ever been stopped by the police?
of course.
How did you feel at that moment?
Anxious and nervous.
Exactly. Well, you didn't have to think, now I'm going to have to be nervous. Actually, I'm sure you're trying to tell yourself, don't be nervous, be cool. I mean, nothing, you didn't do anything, you know. However, you could not control all those reactions.
That's right.
Because why? Because that's the autonomous nervous system. Because the autonomous nervous system, not only is it responsible to control all our, let's say, vital organs, but it is also responsible to prepare us for a threat. So what is also known as the 3 Fs, get us ready to fight, flight, or freeze. Okay? So that state of alert is a natural reaction that every human being has. And that's the autonomous nervous system that controls that. So what the polygraph is going to do is going to measure the reactions that are triggered by the autonomous nervous system. So when you saw the police stopping, you could not control it. And that's what the polygraph is going to do.
Yeah, your hands start to sweat.
Exactly. So, but the polygraph is also known as a lie detector. Why? Because when you lie, exactly the same thing happens. Because there's a difference between what you say and what you know.
Got you.
So the autonomous nervous system gets you ready for that threat. And that's what the polygraph is going to measure.
Yeah,
Okay?
I understand.
Okay, Ella, please take a seat. Now, Ella, this is very important now that we will do the polygraph test. Now it's very important during the polygraph test, Ella, that you do not move. Okay? I'm going to put all the accessories on you now. Okay? Now I want you to put your hands together like if you would be praying and raise your arms. Just give me a little second. Yes. Okay. Like I told you, this is going to measure your breathing pattern. Okay? Okay. Keep your arms like that. Okay. This one on the upper chest. Okay, just lower your arms. Lower your arms. Okay, how is it? Does it feel okay? It's not too straight? Okay, good. Now, I need you, this arm, this one, okay? Okay, your arm, like this. Okay, this is going to measure your blood pressure, okay? Okay, put your arm here. Good. Okay. Now give me your hand like this. This one. Okay, this is going to measure your galvanic skin response. Okay, or your sweat. Okay, put your hands here. Stay calm. I'm going to put your feet on the ground. Okay. Whenever we're going to start, I just need you to be relaxed. Look in front of you. Let me finish the question and then answer truthfully. Okay? Are you ready? Can we start? Okay. Good. That's it. Okay, Ella, please. Now, from now on, don't move. Okay? Wait until I finish asking my question and then you just answer truthfully. Here we go. The test is about to start. Please remain still. Do you understand? I will only ask questions we have talked about.
Yes.
Concerning the testimony of your children, are you going to answer truthfully each question on this test?
Yes.
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Did you train your children to accuse their dad?
No.
Are you aware of your children being inducted?
No.
Did you coach your children in giving their testimony?
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
Mr. Sanchez is ready to give you the results of the test. Ms. Gareeva, are you ready for this? We are here now with Mr. Sanchez, an international polygrapher, who will give us the test results, whether you lied to anyone, including the court in the United Kingdom, about coaching your children into giving false testimony against their father and against school faculty, police officers, members of the faculty at the school, and other members of the society there in the United Kingdom. We are here now to give a reality check to that situation that happened a few years back, whereby your children were taken away from you, and you have not been able to see them since. An extremely inhumane situation, at the very least. And now we are here with an international polygrapher and yourself to take this lie detector, and here are the results. Whether you lied and coached your children to say lies about satanic ritual abuse. Go ahead, Mr. Sanchez.
Okay, Ella. So basically what we investigated today, what we tested today, are the allegations of you training your children to have said what they said. Or if you knew anything about it, if you participate in any way in inducing your children, training your children, coaching your children in saying what they said. Okay? I can tell you the results of the test. Okay, after careful review, I can say that there is no deception, meaning that you pass the test.
Thank you so much.
That's just the result of the test.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There you have it. Ms. Gareeva, thank you very much for doing this for us. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
Okay?